jolly hooey Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan. And any barmaid, she can be a star maid if she
All right.
dances with
Hello and welcome.
man.
This is a beta podcast we're recording. This is going to be basically our Washington Londrina podcast, and we intend to talk about a variety of subjects, mostly stuff we like. So basically, more about movies and games and TV shows and whatever catches our fancy.
Basically, nerd and geeky stuff, right?
Yeah, nerdy and geeky stuff, basically, I suppose. So I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm your host, so I'm going first. My name is Jair. I'm a teacher at Washington Academy, and I'm joined here today by my little brother.
Hello. My name is Igor. I'm not a teacher at anywhere.
Not yet.
I'm just his brother. So that qualifies me to be here tonight.
Yeah, sure. Now, in this first beta podcast, we decided to talk about a movie that probably a lot of you folks have seen already. It's the second Space Jam movie.
Yes.
We've just seen it.
Yes, we already seen it just now, and we have a lot of thoughts on this movie, and we like to share with you.
Yes, exactly. By the way, we've seen the movie on a TV, so perhaps we're missing out a little bit on the HD features that you can only get when you're in the movie theater, right?
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah? You think TV's just as good as the big screen?
No. It's not as good, but I don't think we've missed something that we could have catches if we watch it at a cinema.
All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been a while since we've been to the movies anyway, right?
Yeah, my last time it was March 2020.
It's been a long time. But the theaters are open again,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What do you think will be your first movie when you get back there?
Maybe James Bond.
James Bond,
Yeah.
the No Time to Die
Yes,
movie.
it can be. It can be.
Yeah, that's probably a nice one. We can probably talk about it
Yes.
later when we see it. Okay, but let's talk about the
This
Looney
one.
Tunes. Let's talk about this one, exactly. So let's first introduce the main characters. I think most people are acquainted with the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes were cartoon characters from the Looney Tunes series produced by Warner's
Mel Blanc.
back in the day. Yeah, they had a producer, Leon Schlesinger, and he sold the cartoons to Warner's. That's how it went
And
at first.
they make all of the Looney Tunes was Mel Blanc, right? He did all the
Yeah, he
voices,
did
right?
most of the voices.
Yes,
Mel
and-
Blanc was a famous radio actor. He never hit it big in the big screen, but he was a great radio actor. He was a part of the Jack Benny show, and he did some TV minor parts as well. But there were some other voices occasionally, especially female voices. I'm not exactly encyclopedic when it comes to this department, but I'm a great fan of the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
like the old stuff, but it's been a while since I've seen something.
Me too.
Featuring
I like both. Even the old ones, the very first old ones, then the Baby Looney Tunes, then the sitcom one, and I think at least all that I know.
Yeah, I've seen some of that stuff. I've seen some of Baby Looney Tunes, and I've seen some of the sitcom-y sort of Looney. I think it's called the Looney Tunes Show.
Yes, it's called the Looney Tunes Show.
So basically,
The Cartoon Network.
Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are roommates,
Yes.
right? And yeah, I think there's some good stuff there. I just think it kind of misses the point that Looney Tunes are basically very physical and slapstick characters.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the Tiny Toons and Animaniacs? Have you ever seen those?
I think I haven't seen that one. That one.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Right. We should probably mention that this is a sequel or a reboot of a previous movie from 1996, which was a movie with Michael Jordan. This is the third Looney Tunes feature film
Yes.
that mixes animated cartoon and live action.
Yes.
We had this one, Space Jam, in '96. Then in, I think, 2003,
Yes.
we had Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yes.
Directed actually by Joe Dante, the director of Gremlins, whatnot. And now we have this one, directed by Malcolm D. Lee.
Which is the cousin of Spike Lee, right?
Yeah, I can't say I know any of his other movies, though I've heard about him, like Scary Movie 5.
Yes.
But this is the first one for me. They actually have a separate director for the animation. His direction, Malcolm D. Lee directs the live action section of the movie, but there's another guy, I can't be bothered to actually check his name right now, but there's a different guy that handles the animation. And actually, I think actually separate people handle the hand-drawn animation and the computer-generated animation.
Yes. And let's talk about what we liked in the movie.
Now, let's just, I think we should summarize the plot so the people will know what happens in the movie.
Okay.
By the way, guys, let's do a little disclaimer here. This podcast, we're going to talk about movies, we're going to talk about games. Whatever we'll be talking about, there will be spoilers. Okay? We will spoil stuff if you haven't watched the stuff. So you must bear this in mind. I think some people mind spoilers and some people don't. Or maybe some people mind.
Some people even like spoilers because they can like imagine the scenes on their head. Like they have a spoiler and they start to imagine the scene on their heads. So
it kind of breaks the magic when they actually get to watch the movie?
No, it doesn't break the magic for those people. It kind of like it adds more magic because they kind of like start to imagine how it's gonna be.
Oh, so you're saying that some people actually think that spoilers improve the experience?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
that's like a minority.
Like you hear someone talking about a movie, then you say, "Oh man, that's gonna be great." Then you get there. Oh, that's how it happens. The thing they told me happened.
It gets like it's like an excitement for those people.
Yeah, I actually came into this movie knowing a lot of spoilers, and I don't think it ruined the experience for me. I don't think it would be any different.
I only knew about the Michael B. Jordan and Michael Jordan joke.
Yeah, I actually knew the major spoiler of the movie.
Which is?
The ending, when there's a sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
One of the characters sacrifices himself for the others.
Yeah.
But anyway, the story is we have this basketball player. In the first movie, it was Michael Jordan. But here we have LeBron James. Okay? I don't know a whole lot about American basketball. I don't know a whole lot about sports in general, to tell you the truth. I think we have great podcasts if you like to keep up with the sports. Craque Neto is very good when it comes to sports.
It's not a podcast, but
it's a TV show, right?
A TV show.
Donos da Bola.
Where the presenter is more interesting than the game itself.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's marvelous. So anyway, the story is basically that when he was a kid, his coach, his trainer, he gets very angry.
We could have like Crack Neto with the Monica Gang like movie where
Oh,
where Crack Neto
no,
is
wait.
like with the Monica and Cebolinha
Right,
and
right.
Jimmy Five and Jimmy
That's actually a great idea. Sorry, we're interrupting the synopsis we were doing right now. But my brother here, he had a great idea. What if Craquineto were
Crack Grandson.
yeah, that's kind of the territory of difficult to understand jokes. I hope we don't get too many of those.
It's like Craig Grandson goes to a universe of
I think
Mauricio
the
de Souza and
Limoeiro neighborhood.
Limoeiro neighborhood, and he goes like to with Jimmy Five and Cascão and Magali and Monica to play a little
Soccer game.
soccer game.
And he gets super pissed at them because they don't play right.
Yes, and Chaveco,
Yeah, and Umberto, everyone.
Astronauta.
Yeah, astronaut, everyone.
Astronaut.
Yeah, but let's leave this wonderful idea for a further installment of our show. So anyway, LeBron James is not happy with him at the very beginning, kind of a frame story. Not really a frame story, sorry about that. It's just a flashback. So,
Yes,
yeah, backstory.
flashback.
Wonderful. In which, LeBron's playing Bugs Bunny's, I think, Haunted Castle? I don't know. The Bugs Bunny game on the Game Boy Color. And LeBron needs to focus on basketball is basically what the coach is saying. And when LeBron grows up and becomes a successful...
I actually have a criticism about that because the movie starts at 1998, right? So I thought it's like a little kid, but it doesn't seem like LeBron James had that age that year. Like he wasn't that much small as 1998.
Well, but you must realize that LeBron James is a big guy. Even smaller LeBron James
Yeah,
is
but
gonna look big.
At 1998, he was like probably a teenager, not a
kid.
not a kid. He was probably a teenager, I think.
Man, this is a movie about the Looney Tunes. Let's not.
Yeah, no, but he's probably like 50, his 50s today. So like, there's no way.
His 50s, really?
That's the impression I've got.
I don't think so, man. I think he's like in his 40s, tops.
No, he must be like 50 or at least like a 45, 46.
Well, we've
So
just proved we know nothing about LeBron James.
So like even if he has like if he's in his 40s, he at 1998 he would have like 20s.
Yeah, something like that.
So there's no.
I think LeBron is younger than you think, though.
So yeah, probably, but it's like it's really nonsense of putting like a kid to like play LeBron James in 1998. It makes no chronological sense.
Okay, chronological sense.
Yeah, that's my first critic on the movie.
Your first nitpick.
Yeah, my first.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So anyway, LeBron James grows up and he gets very focused in basketball. His life is 100% basketball, and he has a family now, and he's one of the world's greatest basketball players, and he wants his kids to follow in his footsteps, right?
Yeah. But I like the drama story to change his life through basketball that it has in the backstory. And I don't know if that's something that LeBron James had in his real life, or if it's just like a made-up story to change his life.
I think it's a made-up story. I mean, of course, LeBron is.
He's much more rich than he was when he was a kid, probably.
Yeah, sure, but I don't think that it resembles his. I don't think he had like an angry coach that would say, "Hey, you gotta focus on this. You can't you can't play a Game Boy Color, man."
That's kind of ridiculous, right? The guy who, oh, Game Boys, they are destroying the children.
They're destroying children's minds, right?
Stop, Bugs Bunny, stop!
Yeah, Bugs Bunny's want a castle. I don't think that's the actual name of the game.
Bugs Bunny's
Anyway,
like an evil guy, right?
what?
Bugs Bunny's like an evil guy. He
He's
doesn't
an
like
evil,
children.
evil fella, surely. So anyway, LeBron wants his kids to follow in his footsteps, and especially one of the kids, the younger kid. But this younger kid, I think his name is Mac.
No, I actually.
You know, I don't think this familiar group of LeBron is very memorable because we can't even remember the names of the people.
His older brother, his big brother, of the kid of the 0-1 kid of LeBron James.
0-1 kid. I don't think that most people will get that reference.
Is the most focused on
basketball.
He has more talent at the beginning.
Yeah, but the younger kid, he is like more focused on video games. Actually, he wants to be a video game designer. Meanwhile,
and he's very talented at creating video games.
Yeah, he's like a Shigeru Miyamoto, born again in America.
I didn't get into that reference.
Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario's creator. Meanwhile, there's this algorithm guy who lives in a computer world,
which is Don Cheadle. I think that's the one of the most things, if not the most things that I like most about the movie, because I think Don Cheadle can really play a bad guy in a really good way. He
believable
way. He can really show his violence. He can really show his evilness.
Yeah, he's a wonderful heavy.
He's a wonderful guy who can really be evil when he wants to. And I want to recommend to the Captain Planet of Laugh or Die to the audience of the podcast, because it's like probably most people probably know Don Cheadle by the War Machine of the Marvel movies, where he's like the sidekick of
Iron Man.
Right, Iron Man. But like in Captain Planet of Laugh or Die, you can see you can really see all his acting skills going through his veins.
Yeah.
And exerting. And just like in this movie where he plays like this evil algorithm, and he really does that very, very well, because I really have a sensation that when I was watching that had a really bad guy on the screen.
Yeah, sure. He's a real bad guy in this movie.
Relentless
So
guy.
he lives in a kind of computer world.
And he dominates that computer world.
Yeah.
It's like he's simply an algorithm, and I like the idea of having an algorithm as a villain, because most people don't like algorithms. If you go to any YouTube music video, the first thing you go see in the commentaries like people, oh, I hate those algorithms, or people making fun of the algorithm, like, oh 3 years, now it's time to send that video over it. So people are really pissed off with algorithms.
Right.
And also it's really fun to me to see like a company doing like the algorithm of that own company a villain in its movie, like.
Yeah, he's a very passionate, very human algorithm.
Yeah, that thing I don't like. They humanized too much the algorithm, because.
Okay, we'll get there. But
that was thing that I didn't like, because an algorithm shouldn't have that much passion. He's like an algorithm. He should like just recommend things and think what's better. He's too much passionate, like about what other people think about him.
Look, boyo, save your criticisms for after we summarize the plot. We kind of need to.
I'm kind of anxious.
Yeah. Hold your horses. So this algorithm guy, he wants to work with LeBron. He wants LeBron to be in his movies. I think that's something like it. The plan doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The algorithm thinks that having LeBron in the movies will make lots of money. I don't think too many people are expecting to see basketball players in
Yes,
movies these days.
that's one funny thing because LeBron James himself says, "No, I won't do that because when
It's a ridiculous idea,
yeah,
right?
because when most of the players of soccer, volleyball, basketball does go into the cinema industry, it sucks. It goes
Yeah,
like
it's terrible.
ridiculous.
It's kind of a
Yeah, and
self-referential moment
Yeah,
because
and he literally says it sucks when that happens. So that's the kind of thing that I like.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
moments that I
So
like the movie.
the algorithm gets really offended when LeBron
People just
says that his idea
it
is
sucks.
stupid,
Yeah,
and
sucks.
that the algorithm is
And
an idiot.
other lady, other executive of Warner Brothers says that to him too.
Yeah, right. Then what does the algorithm do? He traps both LeBron and his kid inside this computer world, right? And he wants to pit young LeBron Jr. against LeBron using the video game that LeBron Jr. created, which is a basketball game, right?
Yes.
So basically, he wants LeBron and his kid to live in the computer world forever. They actually call it the serververse.
If they don't, if LeBron doesn't win the basketball game against the algorithm.
Yeah, Algae Rhythm. Yeah, that's his name. That's Algae.
Algorithm.
Yeah, it's kind of a fancy name for an algorithm.
It's kind of trocadillo.
It's a pun. It's a pun.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So, who helps LeBron in this quest to beat his own son and Algae Rhythm? Well, the old Looney Tunes. And in this first part of the movie, he goes to Toonland,
Yes.
or Toon World.
And he passes a lot of other worlds of universe of
Yeah,
Warner Brothers.
The only fella who's still living in Toon World is Bugs Bunny, right? And he has to assemble the other.
Yeah, because the algorithm has tricked all of the other loonies to get out of the
into getting out of the loony land,
Yeah.
the Toon Land.
The Toon Land.
Yeah. So basically,
so they're like each one in other worlds of the whole universe of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so this movie is basically a big advertising for Warner's broadcasting activities, streaming activities. So you get to see a lot of Warner properties in this movie. Each toon is in a different Warner property, right? So like Superman or Mad Max or The Matrix and Casablanca.
There's not one single real actor who plays that kind of like you haven't for Henry Cavill, the who plays Superman, or you don't have like Keanu Reeves. Because
the real actors are not there.
We obviously know why that would be really
very expensive. Yeah. So what happens? LeBron actually gets to assemble the Looney Tunes, and they just play basketball against Algae Rhythm and his team, the team that actually was designed by little LeBron Jr. I'm gonna call him LeBron Jr. because I can't be bothered to remember his actual name. Anyway, there are difficult.
Well.
Yeah, they have some difficulties, of course. Lots of people show up for this game. A lot of Warner properties show up for this big game, but eventually they get to win the game because Bugs Bunny sacrifices himself. There's a glitch in the game that whenever someone does a specific move, the whole game gets in a tilt.
Yes.
It stops. So they use this to beat Algorithm.
I think all the jokes in this movie are like references
Yeah, there are a lot of
No, I think
referencing.
all the jokes are like, oh, at least like when they are in the sorry, I forgot how it's called, the universe of algorithm.
Serververse.
Yes, they are in the internet, the servers, and they go like, oh, he's black. I think that's the only joke that's not a reference to.
Oh yeah, right. LeBron says this computer is black.
Yeah, because it's like a joke as that's not very common to see black people in higher.
Okay, let's not even.
No, but I think taking off that joke, I think all the other jokes are like references to
Other movies,
yeah,
right?
other properties.
Yeah, right. So,
Or fan service.
what?
Or fan
Fan
service.
service.
Which is basically
Precisely.
the same thing, right?
Yeah, basically. So, after Bug's sacrifice, LeBron goes back home with his family. A whole lot of people who were trapped inside the serververse also return safely home. And Bugs is actually not dead. He shows up. No explanation is given to what happened. He just says, I'm a cartoon, I can't die, which I think we already knew.
I think that's a very good uh, film for like children.
Yeah, I think so too, maybe. But anyway, that's the whole thing. They live happily ever after. Now let's actually talk.
I don't know if that movie it's like better than Back in Action, but it's a really good movie, I think, for children at least.
Well, let's talk about it. Now
So I was
that we actually went through the synopsis, we can talk about what do we like.
Can I turn back to my criticizing of the villain?
Why don't we save the criticisms for later? Let's just first talk about what we like.
Okay, one of the things that I really liked was the Don Cheadle, his acting. I think it's really good. One of the best actings. I think it's the best acting in this movie. I really like Bugs Bunny. I think he was great.
Bugs was pretty good.
It's always great, right?
A pretty good imitation of Mel Blanc.
Yeah. Who does Bugs Bunny's
I think
voice?
I could be wrong, but I think it's a guy named Eric Balza.
Mm.
He's been doing Bugs for a while now.
Yeah, and I really like the way he does, the way Warner did a lot of references to itself. Like, so you have like a lot of diversity of references and words in this movie.
Yeah, they kind of construct a Warner universe there. So
Yeah, a lot of different Warner universe, right?
yeah, a lot of different properties they want to advertise. The movie, what they say is that, well, forget about it.
I think the most references character in this movie is like Batman.
Yeah, a lot of Batman references.
Yeah, or if it's not Batman, the most references character, at least Batman universe is most references.
Yeah, precisely. And well, are you done saying what you like about the movie, or is there something else?
I also liked the story, the backstory of Looney Tunes, where algorithm tricks the other loonies. I kind of felt sad for Bugs.
Bugs, you
okay.
actually were
Yeah,
touched by Bugs' pledge.
That was very sad, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, not pledge, plight. Sorry. Okay. What else?
Also, well, as I said, the thing of changing his life through sports. I think that was a nice thing, although it's kind of cliche. But there's not a problem because you have to have like some cliches.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think, well, that's the things I can remember now that I like. But let's go continue with the talking. And if I remember more later, I just interrupt you. And
Yeah, sure. As you've done many times already.
sorry.
No problem. No problem. I'm just kidding you. Okay. What I liked about this movie? Let's think. Well, I liked the animated bits a little bit. I thought they were really nice. I think those were the moments I actually felt I was getting to know the characters. And
Yes, I agree. It was nice, the animation.
Yeah, I think it was really nice hand-drawn animation. A little bit on the safe side. It's not as inventive as the old Looney Tune cartoons, of course, but it's pretty lush. It's pretty well made. And I think the characters show their personality better in these sections of the movies, in which they're trying to assemble the team, before they're actually in the game. And I like, some of the movie references they have there, like the Austin Powers thing that Elmer Fudd is Mini Me, and Sylvester is Mr. Evil's cat. That was pretty funny, I thought. Some very odd references. I don't think not a lot of people remember Austin Powers, and I don't think The Matrix, for instance, is such a hot thing today. But anyway, those parts were nice.
But I think that makes it even more cooler, the fact that most people don't even know these films. Is like makes cooler to they're referencing something that's like it's not that hot today.
Yeah, maybe it's cool, like Joker, right? That Joker movie that you think very highly of. I think you've expressed how much you like that movie to me sometimes. The movie's obviously drawing upon movies like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Those movies are not that well known to young people, but
Yeah,
maybe.
But in Joker, it's like a more inspirational thing. It's not that explicit.
Yeah, no, but my point is that these kinds of inspirations or references, maybe they will get kids to actually watch these movies, right? So that's kind of nice, I suppose. So, and I also like Don Cheadle a lot. I can't say I was really impressed with the rest of the human cast of the movie. I think the performances were kind of wooden. Didn't impress me that much, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, I would single out these two things. I don't think.
So it isn't bad, the other actings too.
You like them?
No, it's not like oh, it's wonderful, but it's not like oh, it's really bad. It's like medium.
Yeah, I've been hearing some people freak.
It's funny. It's funny how LeBron says that every time when a basketball player goes and does a movie, it doesn't go that well.
Yeah.
And like in this movie, he doesn't go like terrific.
let's say he ain't Cary Grant. He ain't Marlon Brando.
Yeah, but he's not like bad.
Yeah. Well, he's not bad. I mean, he's like Michael Jordan. Some people are saying, "Oh no, Michael Jordan was a lot better," and some people are saying, "Oh, he's a lot better than Michael Jordan." I'm saying, what? I don't see the difference. It's not very different.
It's not. I think the acting of his is not bad because he's like just being himself. That I think it was like whatever. That's what everybody wanted for this movie. Michael Jordan, no. LeBron James. Be himself. So there's not much of acting. It's like
he's just reacting.
He's just standing there.
He's just being.
He's just existing.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes though I feel his performance is kind of perfunctory. Like when Don Cheadle pulls a lever or something. A lever or something, and there's like a hole, and he falls through the hole, and he screams like, "I'm falling through this hole." So his scream is like, "Ah!" Right? It's not a very convincing scream. It's
I didn't pay that much attention to that part, but I just agree with you.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me. I would single out these two things. The cartoon sections are all right, and Don Cheadle is very good. I mean, I think he does not make a fool of himself in this movie. Now let's get back.
So much good Don Cheadle, right, bro?
Yeah, right. By the way, my Don Cheadle recommendation for you fellas is a movie called Out of Sight with Jennifer Lopez and George Clooney. I think it's a movie from '98. In this movie, Don Cheadle also plays a bad guy. So check it out. Right, now let's get to the criticisms. You were criticizing some stuff. I'll let you resume your
Oh, yes.
criticism.
I think they humanized a lot what it was supposed to be just an algorithm, because an algorithm shouldn't have that much passion and shouldn't have care too much about what other people care thinks about him. Like an algorithm, a real algorithm would just say, okay, whatever, I will continue my life and just ignore these dipshits. So can I say?
What? Okay,
Okay.
I'll let it slide,
Okay.
but
Okay.
keep it clean, little brother.
Okay, so because they humanize a lot of the algorithm. I know it's not supposed to be like a machine which has no emotions, but at the same time it takes like he just stops all his life to just infernize that
I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, I don't think that's a word either. But he just stops all that he's doing, and I mean, an algorithm who's like work 100 hours per day, right? So he just stops all, and like Warner Brothers should have failed because he's the guy who controls all in Warner Brothers, and at sometimes he just stops caring and he just like, oh, LeBron has to like me, and he has to play a vengeance on LeBron
Right.
James, because like that doesn't make any sense, because he should worry about more important stuff. And
Man, may I defend the movie in those grounds?
yes,
Because man, it's a movie about a computer guy that controls a computer world in which lots of cartoons and other properties from Warner exist. I don't think it has to make a lot of sense.
yes, but like there's like the intentional nonsense and the non-intentional nonsense.
Or you think that was non-intentional? You think
Of
they?
course, I don't think that ever passed through his heads of this. And if it did, they just ignore it.
Well, maybe.
Because I mean, there's like the good nonsense, which is basically the tunes, and all the nonsense in this movie comes from the animated part,
Yeah.
and the children doesn't make part of the animated part, so it's not reasonable.
Well,
It's an error. Sorry.
okay. What else do you have to criticize?
They introduced like some characters of the Looney Tunes, some loonies, but they just introduced and they have one scene, and that's all. Like they say, oh, we have this character, but they just does like a fan service, and the character has no other function in the movie at all. Like Tess, like it's just one single presentation scene, I think, and he does nothing in the rest of the movie.
Well, I guess.
Like I think the most characters actually are like that.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that's a problem with most crossovers like this. I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna have everyone in the movie.
Oh, but
Not-
and not everyone will have the same time of screen.
Yeah, they
screen
won't
time.
have the same screen time. And that's a problem, I think, with the movie in a larger scale, too, because I think this movie tries to pack too much in, and I think I can never know for sure what's going on in any scene, especially at the end of the movie, at the later parts of the movie when they're actually playing basketball, because they gather this immense amount of Warner properties in the same place, and it looks kind of corny to me because they look like cosplayers, because they actually, as we mentioned, they couldn't get the actual actors who played these
I
parts.
like the fact that there's like kind of Comic-Con E3 stuff, like they're like cosplayers. I kind of like it. So.
Well,
Like you don't need to have like Ben Affleck or
oh man, if this movie had Ben Affleck, it would
which we don't know for sure if Ben Affleck's still the Batman, but we can.
he certainly is not the Batman. The Batman now is that
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson fellow.
Pattinson. Or Michael Keaton.
What?
They have a return with Michael Keaton.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting.
It's like an old version of Bruce Wayne.
That's interesting. Maybe they'll do Batman of the future.
Yes.
So,
But you don't need to have like a lot of big stars, because that would be even weirder. I think it's nice
well,
like just to resemble the actors. I think.
well, let's suppose it's cool. Let's suppose I like the cosplayers. I don't, but let's suppose I do. The problem actually is that I think that in these later parts of the movies, there's just too much visual confusion. You don't know where to look at. First thing, I don't like the computer graphics Looney Tunes. I think they look like plush toys.
I disagree with you.
Yeah, I know you disagree. We talked about this, but I don't know. I think they just don't look. They don't
You're
look
just
right.
old style, bro.
Huh?
You're just old style.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the problem. I mean, I like a whole lot of computer graphic movies, but I think
I remember when I was like 9 years old, and I was watching like that anime of Iron Man, and you said to me, bro, I hate that kind of drawn style. Actually, I hate most of the drawn styles.
Oh, wait up. We'll talk about my broader ideas in animation in a different occasion. Let's let's just keep it.
No, I was just sharing a story because I remember when like a few years ago when it said that you hated most of the actual modern day
cartoons, right?
yeah, drawn styles.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. I'm trying to change my mind in many regards when it comes to modern animation. I'm trying to like different things. I'll let you know if I will succeed later. But anyway, I just think the problem is that suppose again that the plush toy Looney Tunes look cool, which I still am not convinced they do. But the problem is that there's too much visual confusion, and that goes against the virtues of the original Looney Tunes cartoons, because these cartoons were very clean when it comes to their visuals. And the interesting thing about these cartoons is that rarely would they feature more than 3 main characters. It's an interesting part of it. Like, for instance, the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons, they virtually had just Roadrunner and Coyote.
Now that you mentioned, I think that we have like so many characters of like other universes that we even forget that's like a Looney Tunes movie. Like we have probably more Batman references in this movie than anything else, so we kind of forget that it's about Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Like at some point it stopped about being Looney Tunes, and it became about like Warner Brothers, all of Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah, and that was a problem many people felt was present in the first Looney Tunes movie, the first Space Jam movie too, because that movie only had Looney Tunes characters in it, but many people felt that it wasn't really about the Looney Tunes. Their personality was not really shown in that movie. It was really just an ad for sneakers. That movie actually was built upon an advertising campaign for sneakers. I think Nike sneakers, and this one is also built on an advertising campaign for HBO. I think the Warner channels are stream. I don't really understand anything about
HBO Max.
Yeah, I think so, because HBO is owned by Warner's, right? So many people are saying, and
But one of the things I like the movie is like the fact that they can make fun of themselves.
yeah, they do. They do, but still, I think there's a lot of pollution on the screen,
Yes,
and that's just bad.
Like,
Because
there's so many references in the movie that we forgot that it was about Looney Tunes at some time.
yeah, and sometimes it's just not good to look at. I don't know. My eyes got confused. Maybe I'm getting old, but
Also, it's really nice the references of some references that we didn't expect.
Yeah, and probably there are many references that if we go back to the movie, we'll find new stuff there. So it's fun that way, but as a movie that you watch, I didn't find it compelling in these important scenes at the end.
Yeah, but again, we don't need to take too much serious this movie because it's like a movie about Bugs Bunny and LeBron James. So
Yeah. Now
they're taking too much serious.
about
seriously.
Bugs Bunny, here's my second criticism, and I don't know if you would agree with that. And this is actually something that some people have already spoken about. Here's the thing. Bug's motivation in this movie is that he wants to meet his friends again. He wants to be with his family. That is, the other toons. Now, lots of people have pointed out, these guys, they're not family. These guys, they don't like each other. Bugs doesn't like Daffy. He's not his friend.
No, I think Bugs and that have like a kind of love and hate relationship.
A sibling rivalry, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but you know,
But like Coyote and Roadrunner really don't like themselves.
yeah, they don't like each other.
Yes.
And
He's literally trying to eat him.
yeah,
Yes.
these guys actually sometimes they want to
like
kill each other
the redhead one, I forgot its name in English.
with the red mustache.
Yeah.
Yosemite San.
Yes. He just shoots everybody. So.
Yeah, he wants to shoot everybody. He's a
No, like
buckaroo.
the things of the Looney Tunes is like you have the tunes on screen and the tunes off screen, like, right? So like they're like actors, right?
Yeah, I know what
Yes.
you mean. I know what you mean.
Yes.
But still, I think that trying to make him friends and like the more emotional moments, I thought they were kind of they didn't touch me. I thought they were very.
I mean,
They fell very flat for me.
in the Baby Looney Tunes and Back to Action and the sitcom one, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck does have like a relationship of brotherhood, I think, of friendship.
I actually have to rewatch Back in Action. It's been a while.
Back in Action, they even flatter each other at the end, saying like, "Oh, you're the hero. No, you're the hero." Yes.
Yeah, maybe, but still, there are many bad guys in the movie. Like Yosemite Sam is a
Martian.
yeah. Marvin.
Marvin.
Marvin is actually pretty good in this movie.
Yes.
I like his.
And he exercises his melody.
Hello there, guys. It's Marvin the Martian here. I'm claiming Earth for Mars.
I miss the Duck Dodgers. I really like.
Oh
Dodgers.
yeah, no Duck Dodgers this time.
It would be nice if Daffy Duck could have just turned into Duck Dodgers.
Well, he was.
And also, I think Daffy Duck and I forgot Porky Pig.
Porky Pig.
And I think these two they also have like a relationship of love and hate too.
Yeah.
Even in the 40 ones.
Porky's like.
Yes, but even in the 40 cartoons, in Duck Dodgers, you have his partner.
Yeah, he's his
that's
sidekick.
like, that is Porky Pig, so they can have like a relationship.
Yeah, and sometimes like Daffy Duck would be Sherlock Holmes, and Porky would be Watson.
Yeah, Porky Pig and Daffy Duck really also have like a relationship.
And like there's a Western episode in
I remember those.
which Daffy is the lone rider and Porky's Tonto.
Yeah, that's really good also.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's pretty good to see these guys again, but the emotional scenes, I didn't like them that much. I didn't buy them. That would be my main criticism. Would be my two main criticisms. I think it looks too busy at times, and I think that the cartoons, the tunes, sometimes they are hard to believe as the same characters that we know and love.
But they convived along with so much time that even if they don't like each other, they would like to have like some relationship could get from that. So I think makes sense that part.
Well, okay. Any closing?
What do you think about the rapping skills of Porky Pig?
Well, that scene, some people I think will think is cringe, and some people will think is cute. I thought it was okay. It was alright. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's cute.
Notorious B.I.G. I think only
It
rap
has some good
people who like rap. You know, there's this rapper and Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. So that's the reference.
Yes.
Probably everyone knows that.
I didn't get to that at the time.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Yes.
Kind of a. He actually was killed.
I actually like the references of the rapping of. I like this scene actually.
Yeah, it was alright at the
Oh,
moment.
are we gonna comment about the polemics of this movie?
Oh yeah, maybe we should talk about a little bit
Lola?
of the. Yeah, Lola and.
Is that clean enough to talk about here?
I think we can talk about it.
Okay, so talk about it.
Maybe if it's too hot, we'll cut it later.
Okay, so and also the Kubrick one, the Stanley
The
Kubrick,
Kubrick. Yeah,
Yes.
Stanley Kubrick.
the Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, well.
And do you want to?
That's what they call some hot button topics.
Yes. So let's start this section out about the hot button topics.
Yeah, right. This is the hot button podcast now. Right.
It's more than para passou das 11.
Yeah, right. It's a late show now. First.
Get the kids out of the room, people.
Yeah, precisely.
It's gonna start.
Well, the internet got really mad about Lola's redesign because Lola was really curvy and sexy in the first movie, and here she's still a pretty cartoon bunny, I suppose, but she's toned down. She's not so voluptuous as all that.
And she has more clothes on.
Yeah, she has more clothes. Her body is not quite as.
Her breasts.
Yeah, there's not a lot of breast action going on. Her tushy is not as rounded as before, too. Whatever. Well, the thing is, Lola's design.
What do you think about that picture, Jared?
It made no difference for me, actually.
Oh, sure.
It's true, man. It made no difference. And actually, Lola's design has changed a whole lot through the years. You know, she has been in this Looney Tunes show, for instance. She was already completely different from the girl that we met in the previous Looney Tunes.
I can't even remember of Lola in the 40s and 30s and 50s cartoons.
She was not in the 40s and
No,
the 50s.
when she was created.
I think she was created specifically for Space Jam.
Oh, really?
Back in '96, yes.
I think I can remember of her in Baby Looney Tunes.
No, yeah, but Baby Looney Tunes comes after
Yeah, I know.
Space Jam.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think they felt they needed a girl character, and Granny was not enough.
Yes.
So they invented Lola, and Tweety is a boy. So
Is he?
He is. He's a boy.
Okay, it is.
Lots of people think he's a girl because the Portuguese voice usually is very soft and a little girlish. So I think they think it's a girl.
But he's a boy.
He's a boy. He's a boy.
The boy.
So I think
He's
it makes
definitely a boy.
makes no difference. I mean, come on, guys. Are you getting all worked up about a cartoon bunny? Get a life. Come on.
Although the origin of this character is like misogynistic, but
yeah, the first movie they thought she was like too centralized, too.
yeah, she was created to be sexy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I don't think it would be bad if she had more breasts.
Yeah, I
but
know.
it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Jesus, you want to see a Looney Tunes movie because it's funny. I don't think that you're gonna see it because it's appealing in this way, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't.
And you guys still have the other Bugs Bunny movie like Back in Action and Space Jam 1.
And Looney Tunes purists are not fans of Lola.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like
Why?
it. Because she's a new creation, and lots of people who like Looney Tunes, they think Space Jam. Yeah, old school Looney Tunes fans think that the original Space Jam is a piece of trash.
Oh, like the real.
Yeah, there's been a long time since let's talk about the first Space Jam a little bit. I have fond memories.
Let's rasgar o verbo.
Huh?
Let's rasgar o verbo.
Yeah, let's do that. I have fond memories of that movie. You have not. My little brother has not watched the original movie. Let me tell you a little bit about this movie. I have fond memories of it because I was a kid when I first watched it, and I must have watched it 1,000 times. Not 1,000 times, but some 20 times probably when I was a kid. And I really liked the cameos from actors such as Bill Murray and Wayne Knight. And that's interesting. I don't think there are cameos quite as funny as Bill Murray and Wayne Knight in this movie. The only nice live action actor in this movie is Don Cheadle. So I think...
And Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, but Michael B. Jordan's in it for a minute.
Yes, but he's a star, bro.
He's a star. I guess he is. I haven't seen too many.
He's like Creed. You know Creed?
Is a band?
No, Creed. The sequence of Rocky.
Oh, I know it.
Yes,
he's the last installment of the Rocky series. I actually haven't watched this, to tell you the truth, but I want to watch it. They say it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good actor. I think he was the best thing, one of the best things in the Black Panther movie, the Michael B. Jordan.
He's the bad guy. He's the heavy.
He's the bad guy.
Right. So anyway, the book on Space Jam 1 is that it's probably not a good movie. It probably...
Oh, it has a Barack Obama cameo.
Oh yeah, but it's not really a cameo. It's just footage. Yeah. It's found footage.
Yes.
At this point.
Yeah.
But it's probably pretty bad, Space Jam, the first one. But we could talk about it at some further episode of this podcast.
What movie are we gonna watch next week?
The
Suicide Squad.
Huh?
James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna watch the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Let's buy the DVD.
Yeah, we're sure gonna do that. Don't worry about it.
If it was for On About Me, I would buy the DVD.
Yeah, no, we're gonna watch it somehow. The second hot button topic for this movie is Monsieur Pepe Le Pew.
Oh yes.
The little skunk. He's absent from this
French
movie.
Guy.
Why, little brother, is he not in this movie?
Because they thought he could be related to something like sexual assault.
Yeah, some people think he's a rapist.
A French rapist.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
At least he's a romantic.
Yeah.
Not that he justifies.
The thing about Pepe is...
Yeah, but I don't think he's a rapist. He's just a boring guy who doesn't know how to respect other people's privacy.
I need to think about this.
He's just intrusive.
I need to...
Which is basically a rapist, how most rapists are, but okay, let's...
I guess I need to rewatch the old Pepe Le Pew cartoons But what I do know,
he's just stinky.
yeah, he's but I like his impression. For a long
Oh,
time.
and he can also be French offensive, right? Because he's like a French stereotype of
Oh,
that.
come on,
So,
really?
yeah.
What about Speedy Gonzales?
He's also so offensive too, if you look at it.
Everything is offensive these days.
Yes.
So, anyways, for a long time, I thought that Pepe Le Pew was based on Claude Rains because of the hair.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, don't worry, I'll tell you later. Then someone told me it was Michel Chevalier from the 30s musicals of Lubitsch and Ruben Mamoulian. But then, finally, someone told me that he was based on Charles Boyer. I don't know what to believe, but I don't know. I think the little skunk is kind of charming in a way,
Yes.
and the
Dude, he's just the
the,
French stereotype, bro.
the old
I think
directors at Termite Terrace,
I think
they really liked Pepe Le Pew. Chuck
think-
Jones, particularly, in
I
an
think,
interview, he said he would really like to be like Pepe Le Pew.
I think Pepe Le Pew is just a fun character, bro.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about
He's
Pepe
not a
Le Pew.
rapist. He's just inconvenient, but he's fun.
And the thing
But
is,
he will always be in our hearts.
and the thing is, it's not that the girls, the little kitty, doesn't like him. It's just that he's stinky.
Yes.
He's actually a pretty
And
good-looking fella.
Inconvenient.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit too romantic.
Yeah. Also the clockwork.
Yeah,
clockwork.
the third hot button topic
It's
is.
the same as the second, right?
Huh?
It's the same as the second, right? They. No, go, just go on.
Yeah, the fellas from Clockwork Orange are in the movie, or at least cosplayers,
For
cosplaying as the Clockwork Orange guys.
Yeah, for
So
like
we
half
have
second.
Alex the Large, and his pals. So the problem is that some people think this is a contradiction, because these guys are legit rapists. I guess I shouldn't say that word so often, but they are. If you see the Clockwork Orange movie, there's an actual rape scene in that movie. So no Pepe Le Pew, but the Clockwork Orange guys are there.
Yeah,
What
but
the
like,
heck?
if the Pepe Le Pew was there, he would be like a character, a
Yeah, he
part
would
of
be
the-
a part of the cast.
Yeah, a part of the cast. And these guys, these cosplayers of, it's just a reference, and they're like for like 1 second and a half. So
Yeah,
it
no.
has no. I don't see a big
No,
deal.
I actually agree with you. It was just like presenting the argument
Yes,
for you. I just
but we agree, right?
Yeah, we definitely agree.
Okay.
And they don't even look like the fellas in the Clockwork Orange.
They're not even in the.
You can't even see their
Yeah,
faces,
they're
right?
like in the background.
You actually let's talk a little bit about the background fellas a little bit. There are many incarnations of Batman characters.
Yeah,
In the
there are
background.
different Catwomen in the same scene.
Catwomen.
Catwomen in the same scene.
and
Catwomen.
and
in the
lots
same
of versions of Batman.
And there's a lot of versions of Robin.
And the Joker, there's 2020 Joker, and there's also a 1989 Joker.
Yes, there's a lot of
In the
Jokers.
crowd.
A lot of Jokers.
Lots of Jokers these days.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, that's about it.
Because we live in a society.
Yeah, that's a good reference for Joker fans. So yeah, I think the last question we could ask is, would you recommend this movie? To whom would you recommend this movie?
Yes. Children mainly.
Yeah, children. It's if you're an adult, maybe at least you will be amused with the movie. Maybe you won't be thrilled by it, but you'll get a kick out of it. It's obviously very expensively made.
You're probably not gonna cry with the movie.
Yeah, you're not gonna cry. You're not gonna cry. the cartoons are just not.
At least you're like really, really fan of Bugs Bunny, then you might cry.
No, if you're a real fan, if you're an old time fan of the Looney Tunes cartoon, if you're a real purist, you're probably gonna hate this movie. Let's face it. You're gonna think that it looks.
So you're gonna cry either of hate or love.
Yeah.
If you're really into Looney Tunes, you're gonna
Yeah,
have
it's a
strong emotions.
It's a movie that, for people like us who are adults. We're adults, right?
Nah, I'm a teenager. Don't.
We're almost adults, man.
I don't want to be adult.
You're Peter Pan now. You're in Neverland.
No.
Right. For people like us, we just look at this movie.
I'm still young.
Okay, stop that. We look at this movie and we go like, "Oh, nice." We're like Captain America. We see, "Oh, I get the reference.
Yeah.
I understood the reference. Oh, nice."
It's funny how Chris Evans saying he got the reference is nowadays one of the most referenced
references.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing that's more referenced than Chris Evans saying that he got the reference.
By the way, when Chris Evans says I got the reference,
what was the film title? Nick Fury was referenced.
Right. That's what
I watched that film a lot of times, and I still don't know what references.
Oh, really?
That he got. Yes, I didn't get.
It's the
It's
things.
like one of the Joss Whedon's good jokes that it's
I'll tell you. I'll explain. And there's actually a connection to this movie. This reference actually has a connection to this movie because the reference is. I think at that point in the movie, some character in this movie, which is the Avengers, the first Avengers. Some characters look like the flying monkeys.
Yes, I remember that. He says, Loki makes us look like flying monkeys, and Thor goes like, flying monkeys? I didn't get it. And then Captain America goes like, I get it, flying monkeys.
Yeah. Flying monkeys appear in the 1938 or 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz. Directed by, oh my god, Victor... I forgot his name. But anyway, George Cukor also worked in this movie. The director is actually the same guy who directed Gone with the Wind. I don't believe I forgot his name. But anyway, I've seen that movie a lot of times.
Hey kiddos, here's a post-podcast note. The director of Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind is Victor Fleming. I was unable to remember it back in the podcast because somehow I got him mixed up in my head with Victor Seastrom, who was a director of great silent movies. Anyway.
And the thing is, in this movie, Space Jam 2, or Space Jam A New Legacy, something like that.
A new basketball player.
A new basket.
Exactly like
Space Jam Ready Player 2. Basically, is what that is. There are many characters from The Wizard of Oz in the crowd.
Oh.
The witch and Dorothy.
You're telling me that Joss Whedon first Avengers jokes, it was like Wizard of Oz reference.
Huh?
So you're saying like that joke from Avengers 1, it was like
yes,
Wizard of Oz?
It was a Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
because
I never knew that, bro.
Because Captain America is from the 50s, I think, from the 40s.
Yes, because he's old, right?
Yeah, he's old, and he has probably seen the movie
yes.
back in the day.
Yes.
So that's why. Now you know. Probably we're going to watch The Wizard of Oz sometime.
Next week we're going to watch the James Gunn
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the James Gunn version.
We're going to talk about the Suicide Squad. No, because there is Suicide Squad, directed by some fella.
David Ayer.
Yeah.
David Ayer, and there's the James Gunn Suicide Squad,
That guy, and then there's the Suicide
Yes.
Squad.
directed by the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and producer of Avengers Infinity War. And
Yeah,
Super-
Guardians of the Galaxy, which features Chris Pratt.
Yes.
He's so cool.
Which,
Don't you agree? He's cool.
yes, he's cool.
I think
But
he's
you
so cool.
you didn't think he was cool some years in the past.
No, I'm actually making a
Yeah.
joke
Oh, you're being
because
sarcastic.
in
Because you don't like Chris Pratt.
in the Mario
What Mario?
cast, there's gonna be a Mario movie.
What Mario?
Super Mario. Let's not do that. Let's not go there.
No, really. What Mario movie? I don't know.
They revealed the cast of the new Mario movie by Illumination, which brought to you classics such as the Minions, stuff like that. And Chris Pratt will play Mario. And the first thing that they say is Chris Pratt will be playing Mario.
Which Mario?
He's so cool. He actually said he's so cool.
Which Mario are you referring to?
Mario, don't you know Mario?
I know a lot of Marios.
I'm gonna do an impression of Mario here.
No,
Let me do my Charles
You
Martinet.
don't need to go that further.
It's me, Mario.
Oh, that Mario, right? Ah!
So long, Bowser.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of. Let's not go there. Anyway, that Mario. Yeah,
Oh,
but
that Mario.
you know, it's very funny to say Mario instead of Mario.
Mario.
Those-
Mario.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. I think my little brother's right. I think children will like it. Grown-ups will probably have a nice time, though I hardly think they'll be thrilled by it. It's just
They are gonna cry.
it's an ad. It's a movie that's basically an ad. But for an ad, it got a lot of eye candy. Some of it will give you a little bit of indigestion. Eye indigestion. At least I had. But, you know, check it out. It's an interesting piece of filmmaking anyway.
Yes.
So, any final thoughts? We're gonna wind this up.
No.
So, I hope you've liked this little discussion we had on this movie, Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, Space Jam 2, Ready Player 2.
I think you should do an impression of Bugs Bunny to finalize the.
Okay, let me try my best Mel Blanc here.
And so we just stopped.
Okay, let me break a little bit. And goodbye, folks. We'll see you next week or sometime when we get the time to actually record this thing. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Suicide Squad, and I think Bugs Bunny has just arrived here. He'll say some parting words to you. What's up, Doc? I suppose that's all, folks. And that's about it, guys. Say goodbye, little brother.
Goodbye.
There's a village green. It's been a long time since I last set eyes on the church